Tony, you have any question?
Not really.
You read all the book and
I read most of one.
most of one. Do you not have any question?
Not really, no.
How old are you?
How old am I? 73?
73.
Okay.
73, yeah.
73.
And you are 68,
Yes,
as I remember.
Yes, 68.
This time is that, the good time, nobody around here. If you have any, question, because when you ask me, I cannot answer you.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Well, what you need to do is that you are the maker of your happiness or sadness. Nobody else can make you happy or sad. But you don't know that, so you rely on other people to make you happy or sad.
Right, isn't that natural to rely on other people? Your wife, your mama, your father?
It is in a way, but in the same time it's unwise to rely on other people, because you can rely on yourself. You have a better thing to rely on than other people. Yourself is the most reliable thing in this world, because it is always with you. So it is natural because everybody is doing it, see? So you think it's natural. But the truth is not natural. The real natural thing is to rely on yourself.
But how many are not doing it as opposed to doing it? Isn't it the vast majority are doing it?
I know, but you have to look at the result, see? The result of what you do. The vast majority end up in sadness when they lose what they rely on, see. But the very minority, the very few people who can rely on themselves never have to be sad, because they always have themselves to rely on. And when I say themselves, I don't mean your body, my body. It's the mind, see. The mind is the ultimate self. The body is just a servant of the mind, something the mind used to rely on due to its ignorance. It doesn't know that it can rely on itself and be better off. So it relies on the body. And then when it has the body to rely on, it has to rely on other things to have the body rely on. So.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that in reading your book, it's it's a concept that's very hard to grasp. That there are two separate things, and it's really the mind that controls that that's yourself is your mind. It's hard to grasp.
I know, but all the time it's the mind that is doing all this talking. It's not the body, you see.
Right.
The body only takes the command from the mind.
Right.
You have to think first before you can say what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So the one who thinks is not the body, that is the mind.
Right.
It's so simple, but since we never look at it,
Well, it's so simple when you say it, but it's not something that you would naturally come to think about. I wouldn't anyway.
I know, it takes an enlightened one to realize this truth. See?
Right.
So for us ordinary people, we would not be able to know this truth. See, I didn't know it before until I started reading the Buddha's book, his teaching.
Uh-huh.
And they say, you are not the body is not you. You are the mind, the one who knows, the one who thinks, the one who feels. But unfortunately, we cannot see it, see. The mind is invisible. But it's all the time doing everything that we do is the mind, see.
Right.
We eat, we talk, we dance, we sing. It's all the mind that's doing it,
Right,
Using the body as the tool, as the medium.
The the one thing that I can grasp is that my body is getting old, and it's getting its aches and pains and problems, but my mind still says, that's not me. It's not.
That's right.
I'm not old.
That's the truth. You're always the same. You always feel the same way, think the same way. Your mind doesn't age because it has no form.
Yeah.
It's invisible. See. So how can you make something invisible deteriorate? It's like empty space. Like, can you change the empty space? The empty space around us never changes.
Yeah.
It's always like that. It's always there. Same way with the mind. It's like an empty space, but it can feel, it can think, and it knows. So this is what you have to do: discover your true self, and discover how to make it happy. Once you have found that, you have nothing else to do.
Never too late, I guess, huh?
Never, because one day or later you will have to come to this realization.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how long, that's all.
Yeah. How long do we have?
Because eventually you get tired of this cycle of birth, aging, sickness, and death. See, when you get sick, get old, and die, you lose this body. Your mind go look for a new body. And so you get a new body. Just like when you got this new body 73 years ago. You came into this earth because the previous lives you lost your old body. And you still need a body to rely on. So you come and take birth in the womb of your mother.
Yeah.
And when you get the body, then you have to look after it, nurture it, take care of it, in order to use it to make you happy, right? But then this body will go through the same process again. Grow up, getting old, getting sick, and die. And after that, you go and get a new body again. One day you get sick and tired of it, just like the Buddha did, see.
Just like the Buddha what?
The Buddha did get sick of this cycle.
Oh.
Because one day when he came out of the palace, he was hidden away from all the truth of life. See? He was living in the forest and in the palace, and his father wouldn't allow any sick people, old people, or dying people go into the palace.
Mm-hmm.
So he never see this. See? But when one day he wants to see what's outside of the palace, so he went outside, and the first thing he saw was an old man, then a sick man, and a dead man. Then he asked, "Who are these people?" And the attendant said, "It's you. That's what you're going to become." See, when he look at his future, he becomes scared. See. And he doesn't want to do this,
Right.
to go through this. And then they saw another person, a holy man. And he asked, "What's this holy man? Who is this guy? It's a holy man. What does he do?" He's looking for a way of not getting sick, getting old, and die. So that sort of aroused the interest in him,
Mm-hmm.
to study, to find out if it's possible not to get sick, get old, and die. So then he found out that in order to do this, he has to renunciate his worldly life, his wealth, his happiness, his physical happiness, and go seek a spiritual happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So one night after he heard that his wife gave birth to his son, he decided it's time to leave. So that night he left without saying goodbye to anybody, because he knew if he tried to tell them, they wouldn't let him go.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. So he have to sneak out at night.
So what are you saying he did? He said he got sick and tired of, the cycle. Did he stop the cycle? And is that?
That's what he had to. Yeah. That's why he tried to find out how to stop this aging, sickness, and death once you are born. Yeah. But then eventually find out that in order to stop this aging, sickness, and death, you have to stop being born. You have to stop birth. Birth is the cause of your getting old, getting sick, and die. If there's no birth, then there's no... This is the logic he went through. And then he eventually find out that the cause of his birth are his desire. His desire for happiness through the body. So you want to see, you want to hear, you want to taste and smell, you need a body. So if you can stop this desire, then you won't need a body. And in order to stop this desire, you have to have something better to replace it. And then he found out that something better is the spiritual calm that you can achieve from your meditation practice. If you can calm your mind to become totally still, you will experience another kind of happiness, which is far more better than the happiness that we acquire through the body. Once you have found that, then you can stop your desire to use the body to get the happiness for you, because you have a better kind of happiness.
How many people would you say have found that?
Very few.
Yeah, very few.
But without him, there would be nobody who have found it. I mean, there were people who found this kind of happiness, but they are not long-lasting. They only last when you are in meditation. But when you come out of meditation, your desire still arises. And he found a way of getting rid of this desire permanently. Because he see that this desire is the one that caused you to go being born, getting sick, getting old, and die. So he see the desire to be the culprit of all our misery. When you see this, then you want to get rid of your desire. It's like having some kind of germs in your body, right? When you know you get sick because of this particular germ, you want to get rid of it, right? The same way, your mind is sick. Your mind is sick, miserable, because of this desire. Once you get rid of this desire, then there won't be any miserable. No misery, because you won't have to go seek things through your body. Because when you go seek things through your body, you can only do it while the body is strong. But once the body becomes weak and old or sick, you can no longer do it. Then you become miserable. See? So when you see this, then you come to the conclusion that you have to stop desiring for anything and just enjoy the peace and happiness that you have from your meditation. So this is the fundamental teaching of Buddhism, to seek the spiritual happiness and to abandon the physical happiness. In order to be able to abandon it completely and permanently, you have to get rid of your desire. By realizing that this desire is like germs in your body, like HIV, like Ebola, that you want to eliminate. You don't want to keep it in your body. Same way, as long as you have desire, you will still be miserable, because you will want to have this or that thing to your body. And when you cannot acquire it, you become very unhappy. And when you lose your body, you go look for a new body, if you still have the desire in you to see, to hear, to feel, to touch. You need a body, right, to do this thing. But if you have a spiritual happiness, which is much better than the physical happiness, then you don't need the body. When you have no body or you don't rely on the body, then it doesn't matter what happens to the body. You can get sick, get old, or die. It won't change the happiness that you have, the spiritual happiness that you have. Because the spiritual happiness doesn't rely on your body. It relies on your ability to control your mind, to stop thinking. That's all.
It's very difficult.
We're always thinking.
Always
Difficult but not possible.
Why?
We have a tool, a mean to get rid of your thinking by concentrating on one particular object, either using a mantra, a word, or counting if you like. Just keep counting. If you count, then you cannot think about other things.
Yeah.
Just keep counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Or just one word, Jesus, 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 or God, 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 or money, money, money. What? just stay with one word.
Excuse me. The beginning ของท่านนี่เริ่มจาก count the number or just พุทโธพุทโธหรือว่าไงคะ think about
I use the body. I use the body as my object of concentration. When I'm not sitting, I constantly watch my body, observe my body with every action that I do. This is to develop my concentration while I'm not sitting. See, I don't allow my mind to go there or anywhere, but except be close to my body. Just watch my body. When I'm eating, I'm just watching my eating. When I'm washing, I'm just watching my washing. When I'm dressing, whatever I do with the body, I just watch it. And when I sit, I use the breathing. I watch the breathing instead. Because when you sit still, the body doesn't move. So there's only one thing that moves is your breathing. So I just watch my breathing. So I have something for the mind to do. So it doesn't have the time to go think about other things. But it resists that it doesn't want to focus on just watching. It likes to think about this and that. Sometimes I have to use some kind of recitation. I sometimes recite the sermon of the Buddha. The whole sermon sometimes takes about 30-40 minutes. It just keeps me occupied with his teaching. His teaching can calm your mind because it's about spiritual matter. It's about how to calm your mind. So I use that sometimes when I cannot concentrate on my breathing. When I start sitting and I start to watch my breathing and the mind keeps thinking about this and that, then I use this thinking to think about the Buddha's teaching instead. Recite his teaching. And after you do that for about 30 or 40 minutes, your mind gets tired. It doesn't want to recite, it doesn't want to think. It just wants to be still. See? Then you can watch your breathing. And if you watch your breathing, then your mind will become even calmer and calmer, and eventually totally stop thinking and relinquish or not even it's separated from the breathing. It goes in deeper until it doesn't see the breathing. So this is a process of bringing your mind inside. Your mind right now is driven by your desire to go outside, to go to your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. Because that is the way it used to find happiness. But now you want to bring it inside to find a different kind of happiness. So you need this concentration to pull it in. And the stronger your concentration, the deeper your mind will come back inside. Eventually it will go to the center of the mind, and the awareness of the body, the breathing will disappear. And then you're totally alone. The mind will be totally alone. and you'll see that the mind just know. It doesn't think. It stops thinking. But the knowing doesn't disappear. The knowing or the consciousness will become very apparent here, because that's the only thing that is left after you stop thinking. And you find that in this state is the state of happiness, peace.
For ordinary people, most of your waking hours are you have to think about other things other than
That's right.
other than yourself, or other than trying to concentrate on one thing. You have children to take care of. You have a job to go to. You know activities
Yes.
for and so it's really
For most people, it's impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah,
I know. It's only for
but what you're saying is
very
that,
few person can do it.
But in order to help yourself, you should devote at least some time to concentration, meditation, and get away from worldly things.
Mm-hmm. That's why the Buddha have a Sabbath day, a holiday for Buddhists to stop working one day and go to the temple, or stay at home and devote the time for the spiritual matter. Mm-hmm. This is just a start, it's a kick start. Once you experience some kind of happiness from this spiritual practice, it will encourage you to want more of it. Mm-hmm. Then you will start to shift your direction of your life from looking after your children, your money, or whatever you have, to come back and looking after your true self, your spiritual self. This is how people do. Ordinary people like you and me, we cannot just suddenly give up everything and go live as a monk, except for very few exceptional people who in their previous lives they have already developed this kind of practice before. So when they come into contact with this practice again, it just naturally attracts it. But otherwise for us, we have to, like train shifting tracks, Mm-hmm. We have to slowly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But we can do it. Like today, you come and you talk to me, then you hear something that you never heard before.
Right.
See? So, just like learning how to scuba dive. You never scuba dive before, but when one day you came across a scuba diver instructor, and he said, "This is the way to do it," and it's so easy and so simple. And you can experience another kind of experience that you don't. So it arouses your interest, right? Mm-hmm. Then you say, I want to try, So you learn from this instructor, and he tells you, okay, well, first try in the pool first, We don't go into the deep water at start because you don't know how to handle the gear. This is the same thing. So I'm trying to tell you to. If you have time, now especially you don't have anything to do.
Right, you see? You practice, really.
There's no excuse now. See? Just now you say people have children, money, have to work. Now you don't have anything. You have no excuse,
That's it. It's all over.
It's good practice when you get sick and.
Well, I must admit, I have to admit, it's exactly what you were saying. When I was here the last time, I got interested and I was reading your book, and then I got distracted away from it, and I didn't go back to it. Now I should go back to it. I'm being honest.
I know, because they always die hard. See,
yeah.
Can teach an old dog a new trick.
You see, and if you study and if you have questions, he's here every day, 2 to 4, and. Like he said, right now you have time in your hand, and you should really.
I start to have a lot of foreigners coming to see me now.
Really?
Once they heard about me or read my books, then they get interested. They come and see me and talk to me, and then after a while they were interested about coming and stay here for a few days. because it's hard to find a quiet place like this.
Right. You don't have anything like that here, do you?
What?
Places where people can come and stay. I thought that you discouraged that.
Well, mainly up here is for the monk, but
Yeah,
sometimes we have a spare place we can allow.
I see.
We choose the people that come. If they're really truly interested,
Right.
then okay, if we have a spare place to stay, they can come.
My son is. My son is starting to practice Buddhism and studying.
Mm-hmm.
He's a psychologist, and he's going on seminars. Just went on one to England to study. It's not Theravada Buddhism. It's some other kind. I'm not really sure what it is.
Excuse me, honey. Like from Tibet,
Tibetan Buddhism.
Yeah, Tibet. That's right, Tibet.
Yeah.
Basically, we're all the same. We practice the same kind of meditation. The same teaching, except the tradition makes it look different.
Yeah, monk Tibet, it can trust the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's here more stricter than Tibet monk.
Yeah. I was very, very surprised at him because he was kind of a hard to handle kid, and he got off the beat, he got off the track in his teens and into his 20s, and then he finally, got it all together and finished college and master's degree and a PhD, and now he's married, has children, and frankly, I find it kind of amazing that he finds the time. I mean, he's doing exactly what you're saying is devote the time to it and don't let anything distract you. He has his room for meditation in his house, and he's got his times, and he works around their schedule, and his wife and kids work around his schedule. So he's sort of following exactly what you're saying. Do as much as you can. You can't do it all unless he just leaves.
Yeah, maybe one day he would. You don't know.
Right.
If he finds that it's far much more beneficial for him to leave, he would leave.
Think about that.
That's tough. I mean, that's
There's nothing wrong with
Is
leaving.
that right?
Leaving, there's nothing wrong with leaving. You still live in the world, but you just live separate from the other people. That's all. And you can still meet each other. You can visit him. He can visit you. You still can communicate. But it's just a different way of life. That's all. Maybe no family gathering for Christmas or Thanksgiving or anything of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very, sentimental. But we tend to stick to the sentimental thing, attached to the sentimental thing.
Right.
But the fundamental thing we don't stick to, attach to.
Right. Yeah.
The fundamental thing is to have continuous happiness. We just like to have a spot happiness here and there once in a while. Family reunion, gathering, have happiness for a few days, then have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Because you can't stand each other any longer.
I don't want to take up everybody's time.
Yeah, okay, alright. Just try it, just try to do what I
Right,
say.
I've gotten back now, I'll get back into the books.
Yeah, or just sit and close your eyes and watch your breathing. Whenever you feel like you don't know what to do, why not just watch your breathing for a change?
Right.
Something might happen, Your mind might suddenly drop into calm and you feel, God, this is it.
Right.
You never know, You have the best time of your life now. You have nothing to do.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
If you get bored, just watch your breathing.
Right.
If you find nothing else to do, watch your breathing.
Either that or read your book.
Yeah.